Hi friends! I am excited to share one of my very favorite stamping techniques today. This is using our pastel chalks, the soft assortment pastels from Stampin Up. And this is such an easy technique, but for some reason it's just always been one of my favorites. So I'm really looking forward to sharing it with you. This is part 4 of a little series that I've created sharing different ways and techniques that you can use our pastel chalk. So this is the last of the series, and I hope I've given you lots of ideas on how you can use the pastel chalks with your stamps at home too. So without further ado, let's start stamping. Okay, so I have my stamp apparatus and I am going to use the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set for this card. So I am going to just put my paper on like so. Bring out my stamps. And this is gonna need to go down there. Oh, got that dirty. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put that on just like so. Pick it up with my plate, and I honestly always forget to remove this foam pad, which I don't need when I'm using my rubber stamps. When you're using your clear photopolymer, that's when you want to use this. I mean, I use this all the time when I'm using red rubber. I truly forget to remove that. Now I'm bringing in a piece of computer paper and I'm just laying this right on top. Actually, let's move that. Let's slide that back in. And you want to use a light color for the first stamp. So what I'm going to use is Crumb Cake. So I'm just inking up my whole stamp. I'm going to stamp this down. It doesn't matter where it's being stamped because this is just scrap paper, because I want to take off some of that ink, which I can see I need to move my magnet. I don't want this ink to be full strength. So now I'm going to stamp it again. You really just want to see that. In fact, I'm going to do a little bit there. Okay, so you just want a really soft background. Keep it on your stamp apparatus. And now we're going to add our pastel chalk. Let me show you. I have my chalks already scraped onto my silicone craft mat, and in my previous videos I've showed you how I've done that. You can just take the spatula end of your pick tool or X-Acto knife and just scrape that pastel chalk right onto your silicone mat. Now I'm going to slide this over so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okie dokie. So now you're going to add color to the butterflies. So you can just, whoops, really want that to stay in place. There we go. So you can just go ahead, add your color wherever you want. You kind of want to stay in the lines. No, you don't. I take that back. You kind of want to keep it even, however you're doing it, because they are butterflies, but you don't have to keep it perfect. Okay, that's the Q-tip. Now I'm bringing in the sponge dauber. So I have a sponge dauber for all 8 chalk colors, and I just keep them in the bag. And let's see, we'll use that one for the blue. So I'm going to pick up some more blue. And I'm just filling in the wings, as you can see. Goes really fast when you're using a sponge dauber. I'll put a little bit here and here. Let's grab some red. And you're probably thinking, well, that's not looking very pretty, but this is the magic of this technique. This is the magic. Purple. I want some purple. Let's do some purple here. What do you guys think? Pretty gorgeous, huh? I know. I know it. And let's do some green. These are gonna be colorful. And let's see, we'll do some green here too. Maybe a little bit here as well. Let's see if we can squeeze some in on this guy. Just blending it right on top. Okay, and I have a little bit more white spot, so let's grab some my yellow. Let's put some yellow up here too. Some more yellow. And we haven't done the dark blue. Let's get some of this pretty blue down in here. Almost done. That needs a little bit of red. Just gonna dab that on just a bit. Same with this one. It needs a little pop of color. So I'm just gonna do that. Okay, so I'm gonna blow off the excess chalk. So I'm gonna move this out of the way so I don't have chalk everywhere. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Just kidding. I know you're thinking, oh my word. Anyways, stay with me, guys. Stay with me. So now I'm going to go into the Mossy Meadow Green, which is the only color I didn't use on the butterfly wings. And I'm going to use this on all the bodies. So some of you may know what I'm doing if you've been stamping for a while. This technique has been around for years. When I first saw it demonstrated, it was with the Lovely as a Tree stamp set. And I couldn't resist. I had to pull that out, and I'll show you a sample later. But this technique works on any outline stamp that has a lot of detail on it. And trust me, when you see it all come together, you're gonna wanna try it. Okay, so that's what I have. Beautiful, right? Okay, you're thinking not so much. But here, my friends, is where the magic comes in. You can use your black memento. You can use your black stays on, which is what I'm using. I don't remember the quote-unquote official name of this technique, but this is so cool it don't need no name. All I know is it's my favorite. Whoa, all the colors coming through, looking beautiful. And the beauty of using the Stamparatus is you can keep stamping until you get it as dark as you want. Look, 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 look. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I just love this technique. And like, you know, it's the simplest technique, but for some reason, it's always been one of my very, very favorite techniques. You can do this with so many different stamp sets, and you just create a quick, beautiful, colorful background, and then just watch those chalks emerge when you add the detail on top. So now I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to bring in my clear Wink of Stella. I'm not going to do them all, but I just want to show you the difference of having that clear Wink of Stella on top of these beautiful, beautiful butterflies. Because when you add that clear Wink of Stella, it kind of makes the chalk a little bit more intense and, of course, sparkly and pretty too. We'll do this one as well. Okay, so hopefully the camera will pick that up so you can see. Can you see that? Maybe a little bit. Let's move this light over. Trust me, it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. And then you cut those out and you use them on your cards, on your scrapbook pages. I already have a card made. And here's the card that I made using the butterflies that I had done exactly the same way that I showed you. And once they were die cut, they all have clear Wink of Stella on them. I put the paper lattice onto my basic white cardstock. And then I glued the bodies down and then added a Stampin' Dimensional behind each little wing, just so they stay pop up a little bit. Added the little sentiment and the couple sequins, and that was it. Isn't that pretty? I am so happy we have our pastel chalks back because I just love them. And in my last video, if you've seen it, I showed how you can make tile coasters. So I made a coordinating tile coaster to go with this card. So cute little gift set. Here's the same technique, but this is using the Beauty of Friendship stamp set. So you get kind of that fall looking tree in the background. And I added some gold birds. Simple but pretty. This is using our Better Places Host stamp set. All of these cards are done the same way as the butterflies. So I used my Stamparatus, I stamped the images in a very, very light color, added my chalks. Here I even added a little bit of orange, so I combined the yellow and red to make the sun. And then once it was colored, I went back on top with the black. I decided instead of a path, I decided to make this like a little creek. And so I added Clear Wink of Stella. And that's another very pretty, beautiful, simple card. Here's another card I made using the Daisy Garden background stamp. And again, I made it exactly the same way as the butterflies, and I put one of those butterfly die cuts on this card as well. And Clear Wink of Stella in the center of each flower, and of course on the butterfly. And also I made a coordinating stamped candle and tile coaster. So I have another really pretty gift set to pass out to somebody special. And if you missed how to stamp on candles or the tile coasters, that was part 3 of this pastel chalk series. And then for the last card I'm sharing with you, I couldn't resist. I had to pull out my Lovely as a Tree stamp set, which is long retired. You can't get it, which is why I never show retired stamp sets, because inevitably somebody wants to get it and you can't get it anymore. However, I had to make an exception for this video, because when I first saw this technique, the demonstrator used the Lovely as a Tree stamp set, and oh my gosh, I made so many tile coasters and candles and cards with this technique and stamp, and I just love it. The sentiment is from our Sunny Sentiments, and I just embossed it in gold. So you can actually you can read to you even though it's stamped on top of the tree. But I love this technique so much. I hope you've enjoyed this mini series, 4 videos featuring the soft assortment pastel chalks from Stampin' Up. I hope I've given you lots of ideas, different ways and techniques that you can use these awesome chalks, and I hope you have a lot of fun creating at home. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Take care. Happy stamping.